Hello, my name's Dominic Fonte with Cutler Real Estate. I've been a real estate agent in the community for 32 years and a city council person for 5 years. So as a city council person, I've been hearing a lot about the Stark Parks renewal, issue 20, which is coming up March 17th. And I've been seeing a few signs, some negative signs. I've been reading things in the newspaper. They just put out an editorial trying to debunk the misrepresentation or misinformation from the facts. But I thought it would be very important as a citizen that lives in a community to bring on the director of Stark Parks, Bob Fonte. No relation to me, right, Bob?
That's right.
So I'm Fonte, he's Fonte. But what I thought would be important to bring Bob on, and let's just address the white elephant in the room, which is basically, if this doesn't pass, for example, are the parks going to shut down? Is that a threat, or what's the situation with the money? And I know it says no new taxes. So tell me about this levy or this issue that you have. It's renewing, or what is the situation there?
Issue 20 is a renewal of the current tax. It's not a new tax. It's the operating funds the Park District has to do the general day-to-day maintenance and development of the parks throughout the county. The issue costs about $2 a month for the average homeowner, and this tax is not an increase. So that's the tax part of it. The controversy is the false claims being made that we're taking property, and that's just
the
not
land
the case.
The land grab. I saw some signs that said that you're stealing farmers' land. Be honest about it. What's really happening here?
What's really happening is fear of the unknown. We had this 25 years ago when we started building trails. People are afraid of change. And we've never taken a trail by eminent domain. We've never forced anybody to sell us anything.
I just really want to know the facts. So what you're saying here, Bob, is it's a renewal. It's not going to cost the homeowners any more money than what they've been paying.
Correct.
It's just a renewal to maintain. How many miles now do you have of trails?
Currently 120.
That's quite a bit, huh?
That's quite a bit. When we started this, we had 1 mile.
Right.
So it's quite a transition. It's all been friendly sales. A lot of times developers, new development, which if you look at the new development on the east side of Market there, that was donated to the Park District to make the connection to the tunnel. That's pretty typical of how we've expanded the system.
So does it cost money for the public to use the trail system or anything?
No.
So that's
we
free?
do charge a nominal fee for kayak renting or paddleboard renting.
Well, that's understandable.
But it's very reasonable. We try to replace the boats with the money we rent. But if you want to go out and use the trails or the parks in general, there's no fee.
So I would say the COVID-19 and everything, people may not want to get out and vote, but I think the reason why I really want Bob here is, as a director, I hear all kinds of things. I just noticed today there was a negative editorial.
Again, it's always misstating the facts. They're claiming we spent $4,000 a tree at Tammy. That's just not true.
Okay.
They're claiming we're stealing land. Not true.
But why do you think they're so negative like this? What do you think's happening?
I go back to the same thing when we started 25 years ago. People are afraid of change. They're afraid of they're afraid of crime.
Right.
Trails don't bring crime.
So there's not crime.
It's not. If you have crime in the neighborhood, you have crime. You have to address that issue. The trails, if anything, help discourage crime. The more traffic,
more
the safer
activity.
they are.
Now, do you have some kind of patrols or volunteers, or how does that work on the trail system?
We have both. We have ranger staff that are certified police officers that patrol. We have a dozen of them that work throughout the county, responding to calls and just generally patrolling the park system and the trails. And we also have a corps of volunteers. They're not enforcement, but there are eyes and ears out there.
Right, and everybody has a cell phone now, right?
Well, pretty much everybody has a cell phone. In fact, when they volunteer, they have to log on to our rangers so the rangers know they're out there.
I gotcha, right.
And they, if they see something, they call the rangers. Now, if it's an education opportunity, they will talk to the public and answer questions and inform them of anything that they might need help with. But as far as enforcement, all they are is our eyes and ears out.
Right, which is good with the technology we have. When the repository, they had an editorial that
This
the guy
past
they were
week,
just
yeah.
and what was that about?
They were disparaging the false advertising by our opponents. They said, do not believe these false claims because they're not true. So that editorial said it as clearly as anybody that the parks are a valuable asset to the community, and we are not taking anybody's property without a friendly sale.
So there's many things like the Exploration Center there at SIPO.
Yep.
That's an educational system. So it's not even just the trails, but
That's
it's
a partnership with the library.
Right.
That we do most everything we do is a partnership.
and you still get grants and everything too,
Well,
right?
yeah, we're still we have grants in the pipeline. Now we're slowing down because we
Right.
can't be as aggressive as we were. To keep up, our primary interest is keeping up maintenance on what we have.
Right.
If you noticed last year, we started chip and sealing some of the trails
Right,
to
I
try
noticed
to
that.
reduce maintenance. We're working on a lot of different programs to try to make it more efficiently. We bought some equipment to be able to trim back grow the
Right.
trails they grow in over
Right,
the
they do.
season. We've bought some more sophisticated equipment to help trim it back so it's not all hand labor. So those are efficiencies we're putting in.
Right.
But the surfacing of the trails, we're trying to keep them natural because the majority of the people like the natural appearance and the softer surface
Right.
runners and walkers like. But sometimes they just don't hold up with
Right.
flooding. So we're trying the chip and seal because it's a lot more cost effective than asphalt. And last year was the first year we chip and sealed, and so far they're holding up
That's
well.
awesome.
And we're going to keep an eye on those, and we plan to do more sections of trail
Right.
this year.
And I know one of the things I heard that I wasn't sure about is when they do a master plan, they're trying to get ideas of how to connect up trails. Because initially we only had trails, I think, up north. Now we have them from Zor all the way up north, and they're connecting the dots all along the way. Sometimes I think they have examples of what they'd like to do, but without cooperation from landowners and working on arrangements, it doesn't happen. So those are just tentative plans, which I believe that went away now. But you do have maps of what the real hardcore trails are, correct?
Right. We updated the map online. Some of the people were complaining that we had a line on the drawing and that was a threat.
Yeah.
It's a plan. I mean,
It's
like
a
any project,
ebb and
it's
flow.
an ebb and flow. So right now, all we did was we updated the map online to just show existing trails and put a statement on that map that future connections would be based on public input, friendly sales,
Right.
and adequate fund to build and maintain. I mean, we always look ahead, but we
Right.
don't overbuild for what we can maintain.
Right, I get
So
it.
the one
So-
mill
so-
levy today will help us maintain what is out there today.
Which you have 125 miles,
Yeah.
plus the lakes and other things. I think the wrap up should be is make sure you get out and vote. Be an informed voter so that you can make the correct decision what's best for you and your community. Thanks for tuning in today. And Bob, if they want to reach out to you, is there a website or an email or a phone number?
If they go to your Stark Parks Facebook page, that all this information, all the frequently asked questions are there, and then they can leave a message and we follow up.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on today.
My pleasure.
Thanks for setting the record straight. Take care.